We all know the B-2 Spirit can refuel in mid-air, sipping jet fuel from a tanker to keep flying for nearly 2 days without landing. But what about the pilots inside? How do two humans, strapped into a cockpit for 30 or even 40 hours, eat, drink, and recharge themselves on a journey that pushes the limits of human endurance? At 50,000 feet, the B-2 Spirit hums through the night, a black wing cutting across the sky at the edge of invisibility. It can fly for up to 40 hours, carrying nuclear or conventional payloads across continents. But inside the cockpit, technology fades into the background and the questions become human. Two pilots sit side by side, confined to a dimly lit space no larger than a small van. How do they eat, hydrate, and stay alert when their mission stretches longer than a full day and night? Long before the wheels leave the ground, preparation begins. B-2 pilots undergo specialized training not just in tactics and systems, but in human endurance. Aerospace physiologists work with them on sleep cycles, nutrition, and hydration strategies. Weeks ahead of a major sortie, a pilot's schedule may be shifted gradually to align with the time zones they will encounter in the air. They practice fatigue management, even using sleep labs to track how their bodies react under pressure. It is a reminder that piloting the most advanced aircraft in the world is as much about physiology as it is about flying skill. The hidden truth came into focus in June 2025 during Operation Midnight Hammer. 7 B-2s lifted off from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri and did not return for 37 hours. Their target, Iran's underground nuclear facilities at Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan.
Last night, on the President's orders, U.S. Central Command, under the command of General Eric Kurilla, executed Operation Midnight Hammer.
The operation President Trump planned was bold, and it was brilliant, showing the world that American deterrence is back.
On paper, it looked like science fiction. Fly undetected across oceans, refuel multiple times, and drop 14 30,000-pound bunker-buster bombs designed to punch through rock and concrete. On radar screens, nothing appeared. But inside the cockpits, the reality was grueling. 2 pilots per aircraft, shoulder to shoulder, living off turkey sandwiches, protein bars, and oatmeal heated in a shoebox microwave. Sunflower seeds cracked one by one as the hours dragged past. By hour 20, the strain was immense. By hour 30, every motion felt slow. And yet when the time came, the crews were sharp, steady, and precise. The bombs fell, tunnels collapsed, and Iran's program was set back in minutes. The world saw explosions and satellite images. What it did not see was the human endurance behind them. The discipline to sip water when the schedule said, to nap for 20 minutes when fatigue pressed hardest, to unwrap a sandwich at hour 25 instead of collapsing. The B-2's stealth and weapons made headlines, but sandwiches, water bottles, and careful routines carried equal weight. Technology gave the bomber invisibility. Human stamina gave it victory. And when the aircraft finally rolled back onto the tarmac in Missouri, the crews looked drained, their faces pale from exhaustion. But they had proven once again that the smallest details, snacks, naps, and hydration, are what keep the world's most advanced bomber effective. The lesson is universal. No matter how advanced the machine, missions succeed or fail on the strength of the people inside it. Food is treated like fuel, measured, pre-planned, and tested. There is no kitchen in the sky. The cockpit contains only a mini fridge, a shoebox-sized microwave, and a compact chemical toilet. Everything carried aboard must be safe, reliable, and easy to handle in turbulence. Heavy or greasy food is banned. Spicy meals are avoided. Digestion at altitude is already harder because of lower cabin pressure, so the menu is intentionally bland. Turkey sandwiches, protein bars, instant oatmeal, and vacuum-sealed rations dominate the cooler. Former Lieutenant General Steve Basham once said his favorite mission food was a plain turkey sandwich on wheat bread. No cheese, no sauces. Boring on the ground, but a lifesaver at altitude where stomach comfort is more important than taste. How food is packed also matters. Each meal is portioned in resealable bags, sometimes even labeled by hour. This creates a predictable routine. A snack every few hours, a small meal at set intervals, water in measured sips. Pilots compare it to fueling the aircraft itself. Steady top-ups rather than big dumps. The B-2 may gulp down tens of thousands of pounds of jet fuel from a tanker, but the humans inside can only manage slow, regular intakes. Both fueling processes are synchronized, but for the pilots, eating during actual refueling is forbidden. Connecting with a tanker is one of the most precise maneuvers in aviation. Two massive aircraft flying in formation in turbulence with only light cues to guide them. In those moments, every nerve is dedicated to flying. Only after the bomber returns to stable cruise will a pilot unwrap a sandwich or heat a pouch of noodles while the other stays on the controls. Snacks serve another purpose: psychology. Sunflower seeds are especially popular. They provide salt and slow-burning calories, but more importantly, the repetitive action of cracking shells fights monotony. Pilots have joked that a billion-dollar stealth bomber is kept aloft, partly by a $2 bag of seeds. Chocolate, nuts, or trail mix offer a quick energy boost, but sugar is rationed. Too much leads to spikes and crashes. Caffeine is the same, powerful but dangerous if misused. Most crews save coffee or soda for the late-night hours when exhaustion is deepest. Some missions authorize modafinil, a prescription alertness aid, but it is only used under medical oversight. For most crews, discipline and habit are enough. Hydration is even more critical than food. The cabin environment is dry, and dehydration can impair focus before pilots even notice. Water bottles are rationed carefully. Sipping steadily avoids both thirst and unnecessary bathroom breaks. The compact toilet in the cockpit is functional but awkward, and pilots plan meals and drinks to minimize its use. Some even adopt a low-residue diet before a mission, choosing foods that produce less waste, reducing the chance of disruption mid-flight. Rest comes in short, carefully managed intervals. The cockpit seats recline slightly, and modern B-2s carry a small folding cot. Pilots take turns, one flying, the other resting. Naps are usually just 15 to 20 minutes, but even brief rest can restore alertness. Longer naps may be possible during calm stretches, but there is never a time when both pilots sleep. The rhythm is relentless. Fly, eat, sip, nap, repeat. Fatigue builds in waves. In the first 10 hours, adrenaline and focus carry the crew. By the 15th, muscles ache and eyes burn. Past 20 hours, every action feels heavy, every decision slower. That is why discipline matters. Snacks are eaten not when hunger strikes, but when the clock says it is time. Caffeine is not taken when tiredness first appears, but when it will be most effective. Naps are short, but timed strategically. The crew's endurance is managed like another system of the aircraft. The psychological strain is harder to measure. Flying a commercial airliner for 10 hours is one thing. Flying a bomber for 30, in silence, secrecy, and confinement, is another. Daylight and night blur together as the aircraft crosses time zones. The pilots see stars sweep across the canopy, then the sun rise, then set again before they land. Meals become the markers of time. Lunch may come at 3 in the morning, dinner during daylight over the Pacific. It is an artificial rhythm imposed to keep the body aligned when nature offers no cues. Comparisons highlight just how demanding it is. Commercial airline pilots rotate crews, with meals served by cabin staff and breaks taken in bunks. Long-range reconnaissance drone crews operate from the ground, where they can eat normally. Even other bombers, like the B-2, have more space and sometimes larger crew rotations. The B-2 is different. Just 2 aviators, no relief, no luxury, only discipline and routine. And yet, the system works. Every long-range B-2 mission is planned not just in fuel and flight hours, but in human cycles. Before dawn, the crew eats a balanced breakfast, then loads their cooler with labeled rations. In the first hours after takeoff, food is light, half a sandwich, maybe an energy bar. By hour 12, a hot meal in the microwave offers comfort. In the 20s, fatigue presses in, and caffeine may be introduced carefully. By hour 30, exhaustion is deep, but the rotation continues. Sip, snack, nap, fly,